Good day, Upper Peninsula. We have three congressional updates for you regarding Upper Peninsula legislators. Senator Gary Peters, Senator Alyssa Slotkin, and Representative Jack Bergman all delivering important news this week. First, today, Representative Jack Bergman says he's reached out to USPS Postmaster General Dejoy regarding a troubling change in mail processing. Bergman's letter revealing that all outbound mail from the Oscar G. Johnson VA Medical Center in Iron Mountain is now being sent to Milwaukee instead of the Green Bay facility, which he says is causing concerns for veterans relying on timely prescriptions and documents. Bergman emphasizing his dismay that this decision was made without any prior notice to his office, raising fears over the potential impacts on veterans' health. In his letter, he formally asked for answers by February 3rd of 2025, including the reasons behind the change and what steps USPS is taking to mitigate service delays. Bergman stressing the need for improved communication. Bergman says, quote, "I learned about this shift through constituents reaching out to me. This lack of communication from your agency is entirely unacceptable, particularly when operation change of this nature affecting the delivery process for prescriptions could have significant impacts on the health and well-being of veterans in Michigan's Upper Peninsula and Northeast Wisconsin." The plan to reroute mail in the Western UP, a hot topic of conversation throughout Bergman's latest term, the reroute plan receiving criticism from both sides of the aisle. Into the big news regarding Senator Gary Peters. Senator Peters, Democrat of Michigan, has announced that he will not be seeking re-election in 2026. This is unexpected news. The major headline is that it leaves an open Senate seat.
Together, we have been able to navigate around a tough, hyper-partisan political environment and successfully pass practical, substantive, bipartisan legislation. It's time for me to write a few more paragraphs in my current chapter and then turn over the reins. I will therefore not seek re-election in 2026.
Michigan is a battleground state, and when Senator Debbie Stabenow announced that she was not seeking a new term 2 years ago, Slotkin's campaign narrowly squeaking by against former state rep Mike Rogers. Peters not retiring, but says that he's seeking other opportunities. Now, Democrats have a pretty strong bench. We know that Jocelyn Benson has announced that she's running for governor, and according to the Detroit News, contenders for Peters' seat may include Biden's Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg. Reportedly, Buttigieg is interested in the job. My UP News can't independently confirm that, but that's the word today from sources to the Detroit News. This will continue to create headlines over the next 2 years, candidates expected to come out of the woodworks from both sides, and we'll keep you updated on how this all plays out as we recap Peters' Senate career throughout that process. Michigan Senator Peters and Senator Slotkin were also 2 of 12 Democrat senators who voted yes on the Laken-Riley Act. The Laken-Riley Act is a proposed law that requires the Department of Homeland Security to detain non-citizens charged with violent crimes. That bill expected to be signed by Trump, his first signed law. Slotkin appeared on ABC News' This Week to discuss immigration and the new surge of deportations across the country. Here she is on My UP's WBUP in an exclusive interview.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand, if the focus and the priority is on criminals, I'm not sure going after an 11-year-old is where you start. And this is again, the inconsistency between what they're saying and then what we saw happen in this past week, right? Going after places that were not sanctuary cities, kind of in this sort of what felt sort of arbitrary way. So I think to me, the idea of going into children and terrorizing children, I just don't believe in supporting that kind of action. And I don't believe that most Americans think that 11 and 12-year-olds are the ones who are the hardened criminals that need to go back to their countries.
Slotkin there, of course, speaking about the fear of immigration officers raiding schools. That's your federal legislative update for today, January 29th, 2025. For My UP News, I'm Andrew Lawrencer.